Hey guys, so currently farming the shoulders for the BIS quest for 10 agility, 10 strength to shoulders. And I just want to talk about Phase 2 versus Phase 1 Warrior. Phase 1 Warrior was doing really amazing damage. I don't know if they nerfed the deep wounds. It doesn't feel like they did, but deep wounds at that moment were making the Warrior do amazing damage, dual wield, versus now it's all about arms, two-handed. So, in my opinion, if you don't have any kind of loot for Nomergan and you're going into it fresh, you're going to bring a Ravager or you're going to get some sort of two-handed sword. And if you get lucky, this sword is quite good. The stats on it are amazing. And if you happen to get yourself... sorry, I'm trying to fucking live and get away from this dude. I cannot fight him right now. Cannot fight him right now at all. He wants to kill me so fucking bad. Basically, this is what I run with, and it does great damage until you're just sitting there missing, which I do a lot. I'm trying to fucking do this, and this guy is fucking up the video so badly right now. I have the tier boots. They're kind of meant for tank. They're great until you find something else. You gotta get the Shane Kicker boots from Tanner's. I didn't walk the fuck all the way over there because I don't fucking have a goddamn mount. So that, like, I know that that's kind of a fucked up excuse, but the problem is that, in my opinion, this is the same thing I'm kind of speaking on. Blizzard, they don't know what the fuck they're doing sometimes. Like, why is the mount 90 gold? That's not fun. Gatekeeping this game under a time constraint of it takes longer to do something, therefore this equals fun is not a great... That's not a great math. That's the new math, because it just doesn't really make sense. I have definitely grinded on my character to get BIS. This first Nomer I did was with the Sword of Omen in this, and I shit the bed completely on the DPS when I thought that I was going to do well. So I moved on and got the two-handed weapon from the STV. Still shit the bed because you're going to miss a lot if you don't have any fucking hit. I mean, the best you're going to do is get the crafted helm or chest or do some other kind of variation engineering belt. And basically, I have definitely farmed my fair share of BIS. And I just want to quickly go over a log. So this was the Nomer I did last night. And I'm just going to go over each boss real quick. So this fucking shaman is completely carrying the damage. And he is in some Nomergan loot. I'm not going to lie. He's definitely got some pieces. But the other pieces that he has are from SM and BFD. So he only has a couple pieces from Nomergan. And he's able to perform at a almost top 20% level of the damage. And then you've got, I don't want to go over the Pharaoh because the Pharaoh has gear, but he's also just pumping. Then you have a Boomkin, right? And this dude has SM gear all over him, maybe some War Song, and fucking the STV book. 2 or 3 BFD items. And as you can see, he's only hitting a couple of fucking abilities. And that's his damage. Let's go over the Hunter. Everyone's seen what the Hunters are doing. They're melee. This dude doesn't have any kind of Nomergan loot that's crazy whatsoever. He has the pants and bracers. That's it. And he's pumping. Absolutely pumping. And then there's me. I'm not even going to talk about it. Now this kill, I got some decent RNG and I had a lot of uptime. 312 DPS, not bad. But as you can see, I'm definitely doing kind of more abilities, if you will. But it's not that many. It's just that I'm looking for procs of overpower and, you know, the slams and whatever. But I've got a full, you know, spec for arms that feeds into the two-handed proc, which I think is very good versus when I did the Nomergans before. I don't know where the log is. I have to upload it. I don't know why it got fucked up. But basically, this whole thing doesn't make sense sometimes because of how shit is going. It's just insane to me that the Warriors do no damage but are trying. They legit are trying. And then they do 115 DPS. Why would you bring them? It doesn't make sense. This is my spec now. I have the axe, so it's inherently going to give me more crits. Especially if I wear the right kind of pants, it's going to, boost my crit. But all I'm saying is that Warriors are in a kind of a weird spot because it seems to me that because I've got a priest. Immediately, as soon as I got penance and prayer mending and homunculus, I'm just laughing. My DPS and my heals are crazy, and I've got new spells that it seems rewarding. It's fun, and I'll kill this guy, for example, and I'll do pretty good damage, but I don't have any kind of amazing moves. I'm just sitting there and meleeing this guy, and rogues are in the same boat as well a little bit. So I am not saying that I want all the buffs in the world and my class is so terrible or whatever. All I'm simply saying is that if you want to make a warrior, I just want to forewarn you that when you make one, do not be surprised if people don't want to take you into Nomergan, because it is a lot better for them to consider a warlock because they can just go DPS. At that level, they definitely should be having the metamorphosis rune. Whereas me, I have great mitigation because I have a shield and shield block, but why would you want a warrior that does the DPS I've shown you versus the warlocks are better? Most casters right now, because the shoe's on the foot. The first phase, I was like, why would you want to ever bring basically any casters into BFD? And then now it's like the rogues and the warriors are getting their taste of medicine. So it's a little bit strange. Because warriors, as you just saw, I'm doing pretty good damage on farming mobs, but Nomergan raid bosses, you got to really, in a way, be autistic about how much you're going to try versus what are the outcomes you're getting. The Moonkin over there is doing a couple of abilities and is complete hell on wheels with threat or damage. And also they offer heals, so they have a lot of depth about them. Versus the warrior is all about, I just do damage when I take a bunch of damage because of rage and how rage works. So as long as you get hit, you're fine. Versus the other way around, where the mob is not targeting you and you're trying to get rage, you're rage starved, you're missing. Your damage is going to suffer. So don't take what I'm saying as complaining. I think that if someone were to ask me, because I've already said it before in phase 1, hey, what is this game about? And I'd be like, listen, maybe come back in phase 2. So phase 2 is way better than phase 1 for sure. It's just that there are some classes that at the moment I don't know if they need to hit their stride. So that's why I'm making this video. Please let me know if you're a rogue or warrior and you feel anything that I'm saying, because I'm not saying I complain or I think that warriors should just be, nerfed or buffed. It's just that they're in a weird spot due to the fact that I could just invite someone else. Warriors are great at being able to be a DPS and have one main tank in the raid, and then that boss, for some sort of mechanic, taunt the boss and tank it. Amazing. But until we hit level 60, I think that we don't fully know what's going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have worked on my character quite a bit, and I love playing my warrior. I don't quite love the process of how long it's taking. So what I'm really getting at is that Blizzard should be fixing a little bit of things faster than taking their sweet time. For example, I don't think that the flight points should be as long as they are. In SoD, I think we've already been through this before, so why play WoW where it takes more time to get something done is not enjoyable. I think that's a stupid way of playing the game. I think that, for instance, if I queue into any kind of battleground and it takes too fucking long, it should put me into one versus hordes. That way we all just do a game. Just like how it is in TBC when they invented that as a policy. So I think that they're going to fix some things, but like for example, I'm walking around on this character again because I'm broke. I didn't get the chance, especially as a warrior. You're not going to make a lot of money farming stuff, but getting a mount, 90 gold. What the fuck? I know. In one breath, I understand why they did it. They did it because everyone was doing GDKP phase 1, so everyone had money. But the point that I'm making is that it's very silly to do shit that takes forever in the game because that's not enjoyable. So let me know if you're a rogue or warrior that feel the same thing that I do, because there's hunters right now that think that they're justifiable saying that their damage has been nerfed or that they should be buffed, and you see what they're doing. You can clearly see what they're doing. They're just walking into Nomergan with SM loot and still blowing the DPS away, versus if they had Nomergan loot, they would increase their damage, but like how much, I don't know. Versus a warrior rogue, it's like I need everything in order for me to do well. I don't think that's a great WoW model to go off of, that hey, we got to give this warrior rogue all the loot for them to finally hit their stride. Because again, I showed off my Stranglethorn PvP, which the PvP loot is literally amazing. It will just jumpstart you as soon as you're level 40, fresh 40. You're going to be immediately into raids if you have the epic loot on these other characters. So that's all I got.